So this is just a raw take today on beginning to release emotion from the body, and just a little bit of a background. So I got immersed in chronic tension in the form of anxiety about 5 years ago, and since then I've basically been trying to figure out things and find out what the problem was, and try to fully understand like what's actually going on here. Why do I feel like this on a day-to-day or a weekly basis? A lot of discomfort and suffering going on in the body, which obviously dictates the mind a lot, and it's almost like a vicious cycle between the two. But over the last 5 years, I've tried a numerous amount of different things. Gone to hypnotists, tried every supplement under the sun. Went for a brain scan. Lots of different Chinese medicine practices, acupuncture, all sorts of different things. To be honest, mushroom trips. Very, very deep, which they actually, I believe they started enabling me to connect to my body more. But anyway, the point is here, I was trying to do a lot of things which you would see them as almost like a quick fix, like trying to just remove the problem from myself instantly, and willing to just try anything to immediately get that release from the body, and to enable me to feel what I considered normal again. Let's just try to do the little finger thing. But what I have experienced the last pretty much 5 weeks since I've really started doing much more deeper internal work is I started having some pretty deep emotional releases that have been helping with getting rid of tension in the body, and starting to feel the shift in things being, and tension being removed from my body, and also allowing me to start shifting internally and with my identity as well. So the most fundamental thing here, I think, in my opinion, is embodiment work, which this is just going to allow you to connect to your body way more. And the more that you're connected to the body, the more that you are going to be able to release certain patterns in the body, tension in the body, discomfort in the body, because the body is primed and it feels safer, which is super important to actually release, have an emotional release. So just with the embodiment stuff, a really good teacher of this is there's two actually. I've got a coach called Daniel Benoit, who's very good. You should follow him on YouTube and watch his stuff. And then someone that's very, very like deep into this is probably the GOAT, is a guy called Chris Bale Awakened on Instagram. And his whole philosophy is embodiment, which is feeling into the body as much as possible, being present with your tension and your body as much as possible. And the more that you sit with the tension and the more that you do embodiment work, the more grounded you'll become, the more grounded you'll feel, the more present you'll be. All of this stuff will start to dissolve and release, and you will be able to embody the true person that you want to actually be, and the true person that you are. The reason that you can't is because you're stuck in all these survival patterns and your body feeling all this discomfort, and you're trying to run away from it as opposed to actually sit and integrate with it. So I started doing more embodiment work, sitting with myself, sitting with the discomfort. I get a lot of feelings in my chest and my back, and predominantly on the left hand side of my body, which is the front and the left hand side, which is the feminine side. It's where problems with expression can lie. Also get in my throat as well, which is something that I realised and have been dealing with as well. So it all becomes quite clear once you start connecting the dots. And I began sitting with these feelings a lot more, just being very, very present with them, getting myself into a place which is either pretty much by the ocean, which I am now. I'm in Bali right now. This is right by the sea, and especially just in my bedroom, which that's pretty much in my opinion, again, like the safest place that you're going to be is in your own home, whether that's in your room or your lounge. Maybe you've got a special room somewhere that you like to chill out in, whatever it is. But either way, you want to get yourself into a spot that feels safe to be in, because that's really what your body wants. And then you sit with the discomfort, you sit with these feelings, and the more that you do this, and the more you're aware of being in your body throughout the daytime, you're going to become more embodied. Your body's going to be more primed to actually release. But actually, how did I start releasing or begin releasing these the tension, the emotion, the feelings? Is I went to an acupressure guy, and I'll switch arms here because my arm's fucking aching a lot holding this up. It's like a shoulder workout. And I went to see, let's figure this out, struggling with the left hand here. I went to see a acupressure guy, which he released a lot of, I'm gonna have to hold this to my right, this ain't working. The right shoulder's just gonna have to take the hit. I went to an acupressure guy, which he worked under a kung fu master for 3 years, and he's got a really gnarly backstory. But anyway, I went to see this guy, and he basically feels with his hands, it's like a deep pressure touch. It's pushing into all your muscles and parts of your body, that places that will store a lot of tension, which is your hips, your chest, your back. And I already knew that I held a lot of tension in my chest, but he felt two massive clumps of, it's pretty much just like tension, energetic tension as well, and like just like muscle fiber and just toxins, all sorts of shit basically hidden in the chest. And he really worked on it. Did a lot of deep, heavy massage, acupressure, and then used this tool which is called the slapper, which is like a small wooden tool, with lumps either side, and he slaps it on the place that you're feeling, or he can feel a lot of tension, and it's very, very painful. From there, it's able to release all that tension that's there, both physically and energetically, and then you can really feel the difference afterwards. So he did that on both sides of my chest, which was fucking extremely painful. 30 seconds, 3 rounds each side. I felt a big relief in the chest area, both physically and like energetically as well. And then about a week after, I'm still doing all these embodiment practices and everything else, and feeling into the body a lot more. I got into a spot in my room. I got into a place when I was in my room, and I really connected just deeply with the discomfort that I've been feeling for the last however many years. And I had just actually done some trauma release exercise just before, a combination of trauma release exercise and a little bit of like bioenergetic stuff as well. So just enabling the body to have a little bit of a tension release before actually going to well, sitting in my bed. And then anyway, I started focusing on these feelings, and because of the embodiment work and because of doing this acupressure and release, my body like literally went into the state that I can define it by is pretty much just like ultimate presence and just a lot of tears and gratitude and a lot of heart coherence as well, which Joe Dispenza, you've heard of him, talks a lot about that. But the heart is aligned with the body, the mind and the soul at the same time, and you just feel like totally at peace, almost like you're pretty much, it feels like you're on drugs. It feels like you're in a very psychedelic and high state. But my body was going through that for about 15 minutes, and it felt like a lot of fear and shame was coming out of the body, and I felt really, really good during it and after it, to be honest. And that was the moment I was like, wow, like this stuff actually works, and there's a big shift that's just happened there. I then had the subconscious starts unloading things as well when you start releasing. Signs start happening, and signs start coming up. It's funny, I will have to explain this in a different video, but I ended up meeting like an inner child version of myself the next day. I was asking loads of profound questions, which was actually crazy. So I had this big release, and then since then I've been doing even more embodiment work, sitting with myself a lot, grounding myself a lot, on the grass, on the sand, going for beach walks, and just trying to chill my nervous system out as much as possible as well. There's a lot of different things that you can do for that. And then I don't believe you should try and push for too many releases at once, because it's going to fry your system, and chances are it's probably going to make you feel arguably worse. So I think you need to do it periodically. And I actually had another really big one last week. This was through breathwork. So I think what a lot of people can get wrong when they're trying to shift themselves and their patterns is they either just do embodiment or like just working on the mind, and they forget all the releasing stuff, or they just go too hard on the releasing and then don't do the embodiment stuff and the mind shifting things as well. So, but anyway, I did this breathwork, big inner child breathwork class the other week. A woman called Chelsea, who's awesome, and she narrated through this group breathwork. She narrated just us going back into the childhood, and then also asking us who basically took our power away from you, or power away from us, sorry, when we were young. And it's a lot of like uncomfortable emotions that come up, and things that will come up in your head of, thinking why you are the way that you are, why you've been stuck in certain patterns and mental loops. And I went very deep in it, and I went back to childhood, and I also had there was quite a lot of anger in there as well, just realising things of perhaps the instigation of why I haven't fully been able to express myself as I've got older, and why this amount into my nervous system frying out, and things becoming like very difficult and a lot of suffering. But you've got to take the whole responsibility yourself. You cannot point fingers at people's circumstances. It is what it is. Like, the only person that's going to be able to change it is you. So anyway, I had another 15 minutes. It was actually probably longer than that. Probably the session was like an hour and a bit, but I was probably releasing for about 30 minutes in the form of like coughing a shit ton, and tears coming out, and body was like really just getting rid of crap. And then after that session again, felt a lot lighter, and felt like the body got rid of more emotion, this time a bit of anger, fear, a bit of shame in there as well. And then it's funny, the facilitator said that I would probably throw up later that day. I didn't, but I did throw up a couple of days later, and that wasn't from feeling like ill or sick. I was just body just purging, getting rid of shit. So now my positioning on this stuff is like, I think every few weeks, if you feel like you're ready to start shifting, and you feel like you've got all this emotion stuck inside of you, then start releasing periodically. And for me right now, I'm kind of on this like every like 2 to 3 weeks, like having like a big release, and then in between I'm doing trauma release exercises, bioenergetics, on like a daily or every other day basis, which this can stimulate releases as well. But then obviously you've got facilitators like breathwork facilitators, acupressure guys, psychedelic trips that you can do as well. But again, that's pretty heavy on the body. But these things will stimulate like big releases anyway, big emotional releases. So it's really important to just on a somatic level to be getting rid of this stuff in your body, because it's all trapped in your muscles, in your fascia, in your just in your nervous system, subconscious. And the only way it's going to get out is if you do releases effectively, like emotional releases. That's why it's so important. And you can do all the identity shifting in your mind that you want to, and you might have a week where you feel like a different person because you said all these affirmations and you went to a talk and changed your mind and your feeling in that moment. But then you'll fall back into these old patterns, these old loops. And the reason is your nervous system, your body is still has all this stored shit inside of it, all this emotion inside of it. Until you get rid of that, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually see change. So foundationally, you need to get this right. You start releasing, then you start integrating. Just embodying, feeling, continuing to feel the tension that arises in your body and uncomfortable moments, and just embodying the work effectively, being in stillness, sitting yourself, meditating, etc. And then actually like embodying the identity shift that you truly want to see in yourself as well, which is the characteristics, the identity, the things that person does that you want to be. Like what are the things that they do on a day-to-day basis, leading in your business, with work. Maybe you're expressing yourself online, public speaking. If you're approaching people, approaching women, you're just doing things that are pushing you out your comfort zone, which the person that you want to be or the person that you want to shift into actually embodies on a day-to-day basis. So embodiment work, which is just always feeling into the body, foundationally, that's the thing you need to get right. And presently grounded in yourself and feeling as much as this will calm your body for releases as well. Then you need to be releasing stored emotions stuck inside of you, and getting rid of those faulty survival patterns that are in the body, and then actually integrating the work. So again, sitting with yourself, grounding yourself, sitting with the tension, just allowing it to be there, and not always releasing, pushing too hard, and then finally just embodying the identity that you really want to become, that person you want to become. So doing the bold reps, doing the uncomfortable things, putting yourself out there, leading in your business, working on working on things that are going to move the needle, uncomfortable, approaching people, getting more social reps in, public speaking, whatever it is. You start embodying the work as well, then all of a sudden like things will begin shifting. This is what I'm effectively doing at the moment. I'm still very much in the trenches, as you would say. By no means am I healed or am I fixed. I am just saying things that I've been doing, that have happened to me, that have moved or shifted, or moved the needle, I guess, yeah, more than anything else that I've done in the past. And this is the stuff that makes the most sense to me as well, logically. So, and I can see it like, yeah, these releases that I've had, and also just things that are popping up in my life, and just starting to have moments of real groundedness with like no tension at times. Today I'm feeling a lot of tension in the body. Woke up, some very loud people at my guest house this morning, but so my sleep got cut a little bit short, and then yeah, just feeling a bit more tension in the body today. But just again, important things to do is just to be embodying yourself, embodying the work, breathing as well, opening up the body with breath, and down deep into the, or trying to breathe into the perineum and lower dantian in the stomach, and refusing to let the old patterns, the old identity to take over as well. So just denying it effectively, and just also having belief that yeah, things will move, because they will. But anyway, it's longer than I expected today. Hopefully there's some helpful information in there, and yeah, I'm going to be posting a few more of these videos, because it's good to obviously help people that are have been in a similar position. The other thing as well, it also helps you very much with getting out your comfort zone and expressing yourself more if it's something that you're not typically used to doing. So create a lot of content. I create a lot of video content in me, especially long talking. I've done a few videos before, but it's just good for reps as well. So yeah, if it's helpful, let me know, and see you in the next video.